Hello and welcome to Library Connection. I'm Mandy Cantrell, Youth Services Director at the B.B. Comer Memorial Library here in Sylacauga. Before I get started, I want to thank TV 47 for allowing us to put on our program. And today it is all about reading. Lindsey Kissic is joining me. She is the reading specialist from Pinecrest School here in Sylacauga. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Good. I know you're having to miss just a little bit of time this morning at work.
A little bit.
But they're glad. I'm glad they've allowed you to come.
Yes.
This is such a very important topic.
It is.
And before we jump into reading, tell us about yourself, Lindsey.
Well, I've been in education for almost 16 years here at Sylacauga. At Pinecrest, I started when Mr. Dan Deese was principal, and he took a chance on a college intern who had no connections to Sylacauga, and I'm so glad he did because this has become my home. And I love teaching in Sylacauga. I started out as a third grade teacher, so I'm a little partial to third grade. And now I'm the local reading specialist at Pinecrest. So I get to now work with teachers and students, which I love. And when I'm not at school, I'm busy being mom to two boys. They keep me pretty busy with their adventures.
I'm sure they do.
They do.
That is exciting. Wow. Well, we'll jump right into the reading. And I have to tell you, I think I follow the school system on Facebook, and I see a little bit about what Pinecrest is doing, which is where I went to school and where I taught, so it's one of my favorites too. Y'all just finished One School, One Book. Is that correct?
We did. We just wrapped it up. A Boy Called Bat.
Oh, what is One School, One Book?
Well, it started 4 years ago when Miss Green was our principal, and she had a vision to really promote family literacy. So she selected a book, and this book was given out to all students and their families to read and promote literacy at home, because we know that it's important to read not just at school, but also at home. And so it started 4 years ago, and the goal was basically just to bring a community of readers together to really emphasize the importance of reading together.
Good. And the entire school, y'all are 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade?
We are 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, yes.
The entire school reads the same book?
The same book. We have gone through Frindle, The Lemonade War, Almost Super, and now The Boy Who Called Bat. A
Boy Called Bat, which we've got at the library. It's great. I read this too. This is an awesome book.
It's great. Dr. Bailey is our principal, and she picked out the book, and she could not have picked out a better book for this year. So.
Wow. How do you choose it? Is there a list of books or?
Okay. So each year the principal has basically picked the book. They read several and try to find one that's very readable yet relatable for our students. So it has to be something that's not too easy for 5th grade, but not too hard for a 3rd grade student. So kind of meets in the middle. A Boy Called Bat is pretty unique because Bat has autism, and he has this really high need for anything very structured. He gets kind of anxious if it's not structured, which was pretty fitting for this year with COVID. Everyone's world has kind of been different this year. And so his mom's a vet, and she brings home this skunk, and he really connects with this baby skunk. And so the novel just takes the readers through the challenges that Bat faces at school and at home. And it's really just a heartfelt story. It's funny at times, but it's very relatable, and our kids have enjoyed it, and our staff very much.
That's right. I enjoyed it myself. When I saw y'all were doing it, I made sure I read it, and it's good to look at that through the eyes of a child who has these problems, things that he's facing.
Each of us are different, and it's good to be able to find a book that's relatable to our kids. And we all have something going on. And so it's also teaching the students to be accepting of others and their needs.
Yes, great. And I have to tell you, several of your students have come in, and I'll say, "Oh, do you go to Pinecrest?" They'll say, "Yes." I said, "Do you realize The Boy Called Bat is a series?" "Oh, wow, no, can I get the 2nd book?" So I think they may be in right now. I'm not sure, but they've gone out several times. So come in and get number 2 and number 3. I can't wait to read those to see how the story continues.
I haven't read those myself, but I'm excited. It's on my summer list of things to do.
Right. Well, now, you don't just one day come in and say, "Okay, this is our book." Isn't there a lot of excitement built up to it?
There is a lot of excitement that builds up to One School, One Book. It's top secret. I don't know if you've heard, but it's top secret. This year, Dr. Bailey asked a couple of us to help organize, and even some other staff, but even people who were helping organize didn't know the book.
Oh, goodness.
So as we were preparing clues, those of us, I think there were 2 of us besides Dr. Bailey that knew the book, we had to enlist help of teachers to do some clue video reveals and different things, but we had to get them to help us do this without revealing the book to the staff.
Oh,
so
fun.
It's really fun. Clues were delivered each day, usually around lunchtime when lunch was delivered.
Right.
For example, one of the clues one day were M&Ms, because that's one of Matt's favorite snacks.
Yes.
So the kids all received M&Ms. But the video clues were very exciting. We got Mr. Cordy, our assistant principal, in on one of those videos. And like I said, several teachers were in charge of the video and yet didn't even know the title of the book,
Oh,
which
how
was
fun.
really cool and creative. But the kids, they would guess each day what they thought the book would be, and they would turn those in. Teachers, they get just as excited. We'd have to try to kind of get them to calm down to not reveal the book, because they were so excited about trying to figure out which book it was.
Fun.
So it's good times.
That is fun. And I know the parents enjoyed it too.
I think so too. I think parents really look forward to that time with their kids because they see the excitement. You know, that's what the event really promotes, is that community family literacy. And we often give books to even people that are not teachers and don't have, our bus drivers receive books, our cafeteria staff receive books.
Good.
We often give them out in different to different people, and the kids know that, hey, this is a community event. I may go somewhere and someone may ask me about this book.
That definitely promotes a family at your school, because your school is a family. All
That's
schools
right.
are a family.
Yes.
That is so fun. And every student receives a book to
Every
keep.
student, yes.
Wow, how fun. I know they enjoyed it. Did you have any comments from the kids this year or in past years about things they enjoyed about it?
I think they really liked the character this year, Bat. I think they really just could relate to him.
Right.
And I just think they enjoyed the character.
Good, good. Well, that is so fun. Do they use it in class too? They teach from it?
They do. Well, they don't teach from it, but because we're really promoting that family part, so we
Just-
want them to read it home. So we send the book. When they receive the book, they also get like a schedule of what to read each night. And then trivia questions are asked the following day. But the teachers also know that sometimes kids may not have had time to read the book, so they give them time in the mornings to kind of catch up, and then they talk about the chapter, and kids can turn in answers and receive prizes.
Oh, fun, fun. We all like a prize, but that is wonderful. That is so much fun. I know you enjoyed that. Well, we're going to pause for a commercial break, and we'll be right back to talk some more with Lindsey.
Things a little bumpy in your driveway? Ox Foundation Solutions has the expertise and the know-how to repair cracks, wet basements and crawl spaces, and uneven floors in your home. Ox Foundation Solutions will come up with the right fix for you. It's time to get strong. How strong? Ox Strong. Get a free estimate from Ox Foundations.
Marble City Pharmacy in Sylacauga is your destination for the highest quality health care. Our knowledgeable pharmacists are always available for questions about your medications or advice on taking over-the-counter products and supplements. Our friendly staff can assist you in choosing from our full lines of compression hose and medical equipment. And don't forget our gift department. We have a great selection of unique gifts for every occasion. Stop by and see us today. Marble City Pharmacy, here for life.
Coosa Valley Medical Center, one of the top 10 hospitals in Alabama, is also Sylacauga's largest employer. Services from the emergency room to surgery to cancer treatment to post-stroke care. You won't believe what's right in your backyard. It's Coosa Valley Medical Center in Sylacauga. So, if you're sick in Alabama, choose one of the top 10 hospitals in Alabama. That is Coosa Valley Medical Center.
Welcome back to Library Connection. I'm talking with Lindsey Kissic. She is the reading specialist from Pinecrest School here in Sylacauga. We were talking about the One School, One Book, A Boy Called Bat. And I know you said you give clues as to what the book is and the kids can guess, and that goes on for several days?
Yes, several days.
What is the big reveal like?
So typically we would have a big reveal assembly, and maybe some teachers dressed in character, and all the students would find out about the book at the same time. But due to COVID, we were not able to have all of our students in that space. So we actually had a virtual assembly this year, which was really cool. Dr. Bailey did a Google Meet, and all of the students, our classes, logged in. She stood in the front lobby of the school, and she and Mr. Cordy announced the book. And it was really awesome to be a part of that, and we had never done a virtual assembly, but you could hear the cheers of all the students and staff up and down the hallways. And I remember Dr. Bailey saying, oh, that gave me chills, because she could hear the echo of excitement.
Wow.
So that was a very creative way to keep that fun going for our students.
Yeah, I tell you, schools and those of you who work there have found creative ways to do a lot of things this year.
We have.
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. You can always make it fun, even if it can't be a big group.
That's right.
Still fun. Well, now we're going to get on to another topic, is the Literacy Act. Would you explain kind of what that is?
Sure, I will. So basically, the Literacy Act passed in 2019 in an effort to improve the reading outcomes for Alabama students. So basically, the goal of the Literacy Act is for every student in Alabama to be reading at or above grade level by the end of third grade. So this legislation is very specific. It outlines the roles and the responsibilities of the state, each district, the schools within the district, and it's really focusing on those early literacy skills that we work on really hard in the K-3 setting.
Right.
So some of the things it does is outlines like the types of assessments we use, the types of intervention and the core reading programs that we have, Dyslexia-Specific Interventions, which is very near and dear to my heart, because we have, the research tells us that 1 in 5 students have dyslexia.
Oh, I had no idea it was that high.
Yes. It outlines, providing intervention even starting in the classroom, which we call Tier 2. SRIPs, which are Student Reading Improvement Plans, are plans that we collaborate and we write with like the teacher, administration. We have parent feedback on this. And it's a plan that sets goals in place to help students who are not yet proficient with certain early literacy skills. And that plan, it just kind of puts us on a track to help that student be successful. And then, of course, it also outlines plans for before and after school tutoring. And right now, we're busy planning summer literacy camp.
Oh, that sounds fun. Well, I know schools and those of you that teach there are always helping struggling readers, always. But this helps. It seems like a more, I guess, a plan to follow. I mean, I know there always is a plan, but this is just a more structured plan with more resources. Have they had any more training or things like that?
Yes. The biggest thing that schools are doing to help struggling readers is teachers have not lost focus of what needs to happen this year. They've worked really hard and stepped up in very difficult times due to COVID. We're working closely with like our problem-solving team and our interventionist and classroom teachers to provide like whole group instruction, some small group support, and even pull-outs for reading intervention. Teachers have had ongoing PD and opportunities for ongoing professional development that can help them with struggling readers. I think because having, Sylacauga for most of the school year, we've had Wednesdays where teachers have been on campus. So there's been a lot more planning that's been able to happen because they've had a day where students aren't on campus. Also, communication with parents has been huge this year. And they've used Wednesdays to reach out and make those phone calls to kind of explain to parents exactly where the kids are and what they need to be successful.
That's wonderful, because I know that's so important to get those basic foundational skills in reading, kindergarten, first, second, and third. Now you talk about intervention. Exactly what does that mean?
Intervention happens in the classroom with the classroom teacher, but we also have an extra intervention where when students have deficiencies in those early reading skills, they may need to be pulled out of the room for, maybe 30, 35 minutes to work on some of those foundational pieces that kind of it slows the material down a little bit and gets it to a level where they need to be. Maybe they have issues with phonics and they need more time working on phonics. They can be provided this intervention to support them.
Just a little bit more time to focus on those skills in a smaller group.
Smaller groups. More opportunity is what I like to call it, more than intervention. It's an extra opportunity to be successful.
Right. Well, I know this has been a most unusual and difficult year with COVID, but you feel like you're getting back on track 5 days a week.
We're 5 days a week now. Very excited about that. It feels good to have our students back on campus. Our teachers really worked hard this year, but there's nothing that replaces that face-to-face interaction with kiddos, especially at the young age.
That is so true. That's so true. And I know parents have had a hard time just because of COVID and kids are out of school and parents are still trying to work and everything's virtual, or not, but a lot of things are virtual. So I know parents have done as well as they can.
Yes, parents have been phenomenal. They have been very supportive. They've had to deal with working and then going and trying to help their student as well. And we know that they have usually more than one child.
Right.
And lots of responsibilities, and so it's put a lot on parents this year. But I think as a community, we've really come together, and I'm looking forward to the fall when things feel a little bit more normal for all of us.
Oh, I know. I think it'll be a little bit of a new normal, but I look forward to that too. School 5 days a week, like you said, nothing replaces that face-to-face instruction. I know. Well, at work, I can tell you at the library, we have several resources. Well, we have books for one thing, and to be a better reader, you need to read more. We have books. We have a section right as you come up the stairs, upstairs. On the left, they're called Easy Reader Blue Dots. They are books that are designed for those early readers. This is Pete the Cat and the Cool Caterpillar. It has easy words in it, or I'll say words that you sound out, sight words and things that are taught, and they are designed for kindergarten, first and second readers. And you can tell the level by looking. The ones that have AR tests have an orange dot. This is a 2.0, so it would be a beginning second grade book, and that all varies child to child. But just short books so the child can read the entire book and be successful. So we're glad we have that, and we have, of course, lots of other books and things going on all the time. But how do you determine who is struggling? I know there are assessments and things. Is that
Yes, we use a variety of assessments. In our building, we use STAR, and we also use DIBELS. These assessments kind of help us drill down and figure out what the students' lowest deficiencies are. And one of the things that has come out of the Literacy Act is us really analyzing and targeting and going down and figuring out where's that interference, so we can plug in instruction more there and intervention to help that child increase and get to those higher level things, because we know the ultimate goal is to be able to comprehend the text.
Yes. Oh, yes.
So we have to fill in and fix those things that are lower, like phonemic awareness and phonics, so that we can help them be successful with comprehension.
That is great. Well, what can parents do?
Well, I think the most important thing that parents can do is reach out to their child's teacher. Your teacher is your first resource, because they're going to know your child well. And one of the things that the state has come out with is the Alabama Family Guide for Student Reading Success, and it's actually located on the Sylacauga City Schools District webpage. If you reach out to your child's teacher and you find out, okay, well, my child still doesn't know how to name letters, or my child doesn't know there's sounds to these letters yet, you can go to this family guide, and there are resources that explain to a parent what phonemic awareness is or what phonics is, and then there's links to activities and things that you can do at home to support your child with whatever things that the teacher decides would be good for the child to work on.
And these are not hard things. They're just simple
very
things
simple.
you can do.
And yes, very simple.
And we don't always know that. We think it has to be it has to be pencil and paper, and it has to be or it might be hard.
Right.
But that's great. Well, parents, do that. Go to the website. That is awesome. That's great. And I know this act wasn't put into place, and then boom, you have to start testing everyone. I mean, wasn't it? It came in a few years ago, is that correct?
It passed in 2019. It's kind of come in phases. For example, there's a part about retention at the conclusion of third grade, but that part has not actually happened yet. That's coming. But we are getting ready. It's just really lining up those assessments. The State Department has just passed an updated English Language Arts course of study. So in the near future, there's going to be curriculum adoption. So there's many things that are just rolling out because of the Literacy Act that was passed in 2019.
And you had a few years to get ready, and the school system jumped right on it.
Yes, we did.
Yes, we did. Ready. Well, that's great. We're going to pause for another commercial break, and we'll be right back to talk some more with Lindsey.
Things a little bumpy in your driveway? Ox Foundation Solutions has the expertise and the know-how to repair cracks, wet basements and crawl spaces, and uneven floors in your home. Ox Foundation Solutions will come up with the right fix for you. It's time to get strong. How strong? Ox Strong. Get a free estimate from Ox Foundations.
Marble City Pharmacy in Sylacauga is your destination for the highest quality health care. Our knowledgeable pharmacists are always available for questions about your medications or advice on taking over-the-counter products and supplements. Our friendly staff can assist you in choosing from our full lines of compression hose and medical equipment. And don't forget our gift department. We have a great selection of unique gifts for every occasion. Stop by and see us today. Marble City Pharmacy, here for life.
Coosa Valley Medical Center, one of the top 10 hospitals in Alabama, is also Silicaga's largest employer. Services from the emergency room to surgery to cancer treatment to post-stroke care. You won't believe what's right in your backyard. It's Coosa Valley Medical Center in Silicaga. So, if you're sick in Alabama, choose one of the top 10 hospitals in Alabama. That is Coosa Valley Medical Center.
Welcome back to Library Connection. I'm talking with Lindsey Kissic, who is the reading specialist at Pinecrest Elementary School here in Silicaga. We've been talking about the books you're reading and the Literacy Act. That is exciting, and because of that act, there is a summer reading camp. Is that correct?
There is going to be a summer literacy camp this year. We're actually going to have it at Indian Valley, but it will be a combination of Pinecrest and Indian Valley students from kindergarten to 3rd grade.
Okay, great. Who can come to the camp?
Well, students are invited this year to the camp. It is based on some data that we have collected throughout the year that basically says a student may need a little bit more time to work on some early literacy skills. So that's kind of how we identify students this year for camp.
Okay, okay. And it's going to be at Indian Valley.
It's going to be at Indian Valley.
Right. So
yes.
a nice familiar place. Yes. All the kids have either probably went to school there before they came to Pinecrest, or they're at school there right now. All right. Is there a cost or anything for
There
it?
is no cost to the camp. I mean, there is a cost, but not to families.
Not to families. Right,
It is free to our students.
Okay, great. And this is all part of the act, right? The
This is
Literacy
all part
Act.
of the act, yes. And you know, the thing about summer literacy camp is it was already in the works for this year, even before COVID. But because of COVID, we even have a greater need to have summer literacy camp. It's going to be that extra opportunity to give students what they need to be successful readers.
Right. What are the times? Have you?
I believe the times are maybe around from 8:15 to 12:15 each day, so not a full school day.
Right, in the morning with a familiar face. Who else going to teach? Is it just several teachers?
There will be a combination of Indian Valley and Pinecrest students.
Oh, that'll be fun. I know the kids will enjoy to see them again.
We've actually had several kids bring back their permission forms, and they seem really excited.
Oh, good. How fun. What dates are there?
It's going to start, I believe, June the 8th. It's going to be on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. I think it's a 6-week camp.
Right, okay. Well, that sounds fun. And you'll do somewhat the same type things you do in class because it's the same instruction, or it's the same.
We will
skills.
actually take some of this data that we've collected, especially right here at the end of the school year, and we will group our students based on some needs. So if I've got maybe some kindergarten students that really need that phonemic awareness and that phonics, they will be in groups together. If we have maybe some older students that need to shore up some phonics, but they could also work on some comprehension, we'll have those in a group together. So summer school is going to be very prescriptive. We're going to be able to group kids and really focus on what do they need to be successful readers. And that's what we're going to target. So it's very targeted.
That'll be fun. I know it'll be a little bit smaller groups in the classroom and everything, and some of the same social distance and all that kind of stuff.
Yes, we will follow those CDC guidelines. Ms. Bruno is the camp administrator, so she will make sure that our students and our teachers are doing everything that we can do to keep everyone safe.
That's great. And I still think how fun for them to get to see their friends and their teachers again during the summer, just for a little while. It's not a whole day like you said.
No, it's not a whole day. It's 6 weeks, which is a little bit longer than we normally run camps, but I think it's a great opportunity for students this year.
This year especially, since kids were out of school for so long, they just need a little bit of extra instruction. And I'll tell you, we're open at the library all summer long. We have summer reading programs, and one thing we do, and y'all are always so wonderful to promote this, is our summer reading club. We have kids sign up. It's all free. Everything is free. You just sign up. You can't right now. We'll have it on our website towards the end of May, online, or come in and see us. You choose books to read from our library, check them out, read them, and when they're this young, you can, or even when they're older, you can read to them. You know, that's just as important, family reading together. The children can read books, parents can read books to them. It's for ages 3 and up. And you write down all the books you read, come in, and you win prizes. I mean, you get prizes just for reading.
Yes.
We do it all summer long. We think it's just a lot of fun. We have a board where you can put your name up if you've read 50 books or 100 books. And we have kids that read all summer. So important to keep those skills up.
It is. Summer loss is a real thing, and it was a real thing before COVID.
Right.
So we want to keep kids in books. You know, just because school ends doesn't mean they should just close a book and not open another one until August.
Right.
Keep them reading, keep them in a routine. It's crucial.
Mm-hmm. Not reading all day. We do
Right.
want you to go out and play
That's
and have
right.
some fun, but just come in and read. And for us, it doesn't really matter to us what you read. I
Right.
mean, you can read fiction, you can read nonfiction. When you're in school, you have to read certain things because of what you're doing in class. But for us, you can read fiction, nonfiction, mysteries. You can read big books, little books. It doesn't matter. Just read. Just read through the summer.
My boys always enjoyed coming and looking through the magazines that you guys have.
Yes,
So even
those-
magazines.
And those count.
That's
Yes.
right.
And we have books online too from our app, our e-books, and all those count. So, and they're used to doing things on the computer.
Yes, they
virtually.
are, because you know we have like a support with audiobooks called Learning Ally that all of our students at Pinecrest
Okay,
have.
yeah.
So they're used to those audiobooks.
Good, good. Well, have fun. Yes, listening to the books or reading the books. That sounds like a lot of fun. And this starts in June. Is
This
that
does start
correct?
in June 8th.
All right. And y'all have a certain curriculum you follow for the summer?
We're going to use very research-based materials. So we have some phonics programs called Reading Horizons. We also have a Sunday system intervention that
Yes.
we'll be utilizing. So it will be top-notch instruction like they would get during the school day.
Right. But a little bit different because it's during the summer, it's not a
Yes.
whole day. and
Yes,
other
we'll
things.
have some brain breaks and some fun
Yes.
that will happen this summer as well.
That sounds like so much fun. I'm so glad y'all are doing this. And y'all are not the only school doing this.
No, so because of the Literacy Act, all students that need that extra opportunity, regardless of what school you attend, will be offering some kind of summer reading.
That's wonderful. So if you're not in this school, look online, ask at your school. I'm sure you've probably heard something about it. And even if your kids are not going to camp this summer, please keep them reading.
Yes, visit the library.
Right. Oh, yeah. I love to say that. Well, Lindsey, thank you so much. Our time is almost up.
Thank you for having me.
And thank y'all for working so hard during this very difficult time. I know all of you and everyone at your school and
Thank
all the
you.
schools have worked hard, and parents too. So thank you so much for joining me on Library Connection, and we hope to see you at the library very soon, and especially this summer. Thanks so much.